And, okay, Illuminations Wellbeing Center is here. Before continuing, I would like to tell the organizer if I can become host. Okay, please make me host. Thank you very much. Okay, because I have slides to share. And of course, we're going to do at the end of the evening, even a very, very special meditation, okay, based upon the principle of Transcendental Quantum Reiki, where I'm going to accompany you in this journey with my music, with my shaman music, okay? Well, I can't do it live here because if I play shaman music live here with my instruments, the audio is very, very bad indeed. So I've prepared a very special recording for each one of you for the evening, okay? Because my shaman music is the combination of medieval Celtic and even Native Indian American music and Aboriginal music through the sound of the didgeridoo. But I will describe this a bit later, okay? But now let's go back to where we were. Transcendental Quantum Reiki, TQR. Well, let's say that there are so many energy healing methods out there, okay? And so many versions of Reiki, etc., 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 that we all know, of course, okay? But I was thinking about the times that are changing because we are really living a very important moment right now. We are facing the year 2021, and it is and it is a very powerful portal which is open, which determines the initial stage of the age of Aquarius. Okay, many of us were waiting for this initial stage, and it is the beginning of the era of consciousness reawakening, okay, to make us understand our nature as pure field consciousness and who we are as divine singularity, where through traditional spiritual terms, this divine singularity is the pure supreme energy of the source, or it can even be defined throughout the religious concept as God, Allah, Manitou, even goddess, because we should really understand that God is also goddess. Spirituality is androgynous, okay? So we should never ever leave out the feminine part from the masculine part, because the feminine part counterbalances the masculine part. The feminine energy of the cosmos is the creative power that harmonizes the masculine energy in a way to permit the masculine energy to be a constructive force and not a destructive force. The masculine energy without the feminine energy, of course, well, has the tendency to plunder into its egoical nature. And of course, the result is the world that we see nowadays, okay? But fortunately, a world that has an opportunity to change. Now, since the Earth is vibrating on higher vibrational frequencies due to certain cosmic phenomena, okay, which is very, very long to explain for tonight, because we are going to really enter a very, very, what can I say, advanced concept of quantum physics and metaphysics, because when we're talking about this cosmic phenomena, we're talking about the effect, the quantum effect that we are living due to the galactic alignment of Earth, Sun, and galactic core, which is, of course, creating a certain energy wave, which is passing through the sun, changing the light frequency of the sun, which is hitting the earth and then affecting the core of the earth. And this electromagnetical energy is rising, changing the vibrational consciousness field of the earth itself, which is called the Schumann resonance. Okay, this Schumann resonance reflects how we are in our consciousness. So what does this mean? That yes, we are raising our vibrational consciousness, and all the old energy is starting to purge away, of course. And we are practically living the effects. Many of us, especially sensitives, are feeling the effect of this, let's say, global purge due to this cosmic phenomena, which has started since the year 21st of December 2012, according to the Mayan calendar. But now we are reaching an apex, which is, let's say, the year 2021, okay? And I can see it as the beginning of a galactic golden age, a galactic renaissance, okay? A real renaissance of our consciousness. It will certainly bring lots of what can I say, revolutionary changes to ourselves. Of course, this change starts on emotional level when we are starting to step out of the old energy waves, and we are starting to embrace the new, which then is creating this purge, unconscious purging process. But in time, the DNA will change and adapt to the new frequency. And from carbon-based life forms, we will become crystalline-based life forms, okay? Which is very, very different to who we are now. But of course, this process will take quite a lot of years, but it is starting. But of course, since this process is starting, we even need new methods to live this momentum, okay? To go through this momentum. The old world is old now. It's behind us. We are in front of a new door, and new methods are arriving. And of course, one of these methods is, of course, Transcendental Quantum Reiki. Why did I decide to call it Reiki? Well, there's a certain story behind this, okay? Because initially, this method was called Transcendental Quantum Healing, simply, okay? When I started to teach it around the world, because it is a method which is starting to spread out, I was teaching it in New York, in a class in New York, and I noticed that many of my students were Reiki practitioners, okay, advanced Reiki practitioners. And I was already teaching them the second level because they already did the first level the year before. And they all came back for the second level, all satisfied and all quite amazed because and why? And then they clearly told me, yes, we are so amazed by this method because when we started to apply level 1 and integrate it to our actual knowledge of Reiki, practically we have undergone a very, very, what can I say, deep evolutionary step in our capabilities. Our capabilities have furtherly amplified. The results are faster, and people are really gaining fast and very deep results in a permanent way in their lives. And of course, let's say that for all the practitioners that have taken seriously this method, it has really been a life changer for all the practitioners as well. And simply, it is based upon the principle of transcendence, because this is what we have to understand nowadays, in these times. The meaning of transcendence, how to transcend the divine willpower. The key is through sacred geometry. This method arrives from an archangel because I've been channeling this archangel since my childhood, and from a very particular ascended master, which has learned from this archangel. This archangel is the archangel Metatron, okay? For who doesn't know the archangel Metatron, let me describe, okay? But let me share the screen, and I'm going to share an image of this archangel. This is my drawing of how I see the archangel. Can you all see it? The archangel Metatron is the filtering energy of the universe. It is known to be the holder of the crown of God, the celestial crown, and the dispenser of divine knowledge. We see angels as archetypes, but in reality, these archetypical figures are three-dimensional interpretations of how we sense the cosmic rays of the universe. This cosmic energy with all its different frequencies that constantly bombard us and creates a certain effect on us on an unconscious level, and in time on DNA level. These cosmic frequencies are conveyors of energy, let's say, certain energies that then convey information, okay, from other dimensions, because let's say the nature of these frequencies are based upon tachyons, okay, subatomical particles called tachyons, okay, and the group of subatomical particles, the group of tachyons, have the tendency to jump from one dimension to another constantly. And this means that these cosmic rays operates on all sorts of dimensions. The cosmic rays of the universe operates on all sorts of dimensions. And we are constantly bombarded by heaps and heaps of information from all sorts of dimensions, okay? But how do we, what can I say, integrate this reality into our three-dimensional perspective? Of course, through divine archetypes, to have a certain orientation in this reality, okay? Like gods, goddesses, and angels. This archangel isn't mentioned a lot around, but it is a very important archangel of the Kabbalah because it is described as the archangel of the seraphims, okay, which orchestrates all the other archangelical vibrational frequencies. And The main thing that represents this archangel is the cube of Metatron, Metatron's cube, okay? Because when I talk about Transcendental Quantum Reiki, we are going to learn the mysteries of the Metatron cube that I like to personally call the Merkaba of life, okay? This Merkaba of life, which is situated in the area of our higher heart chakra, the most mysterious chakra. It is the heart of the universe within all of us, okay? So Transcendental Quantum Reiki teaches us the deep mysteries of the Merkaba of life, which is also called the Metatron cube, and how to use it, how to activate it, how to harness it to create, let's say, the transcendental effect of converging and conveying the divine energy within ourselves and spreading it out through our hands and sending it to other people in a very, very amplified way, okay? And this is even, what can I say, what scientists call the electropolarization, the electromagnetical polarization of the quantum point zero energy, which I personally like to call the divine singularity. It is a new perspective of seeing things, okay? Anyway, I want to go back, yes, to those students in New York, okay? They were saying that they were obtaining very beautiful, amazing results, and they clearly said that they consider it a step forward in their capabilities as energy healers and a more advanced form of Reiki. That's what they said. And they told me, why don't you change the name healing into Reiki? Call it Transcendental Quantum Reiki. And I was a bit, what can I say? I didn't quite agree on this initially. But suddenly, while they were practicing, a very, very strange phenomenon occurred. But let's not call it strange, because this is a phenomenon that usually occurred to me when I was a childhood, channeling and talking to the spirits. While they were practicing, there was the photo of, let's say, the founder of Reiki, right in front of me, with his eyeglasses, a bit plumpy, okay, Uzui. And I suddenly went into trance, and the whole entire room became cloudy, became a cloud of pure quantum energy. And the only thing that remained was his photograph as a hologram. Suddenly, I felt the breeze of the wind coming from the photograph, embracing me, and I felt a hand touching my shoulder, and I turned around and I saw him, and he was right next to me. And I said, you're the guy you're the founder of the traditional Reiki, you are Uzui. And he said, yes, in Japanese. And I said, okay, have you got something to tell me? And he said, yes. Why don't you listen to these students? Because these students are even my students. They have, let's say, studied the traditional form of Reiki, and they see your method as an evolutionary step, and things change in life. Everything changes. Things from yesterday can never be the same as things of today. And the same applies for what will occur tomorrow, okay, in this constant flow of the eternal here and now. So since everything evolves and things change, put the name Reiki, even if it is different to Reiki, because it has a different approach, a different concept, but it is part of evolution. And I said, okay, I have to think about it still, because I knew that if I had to put the name Reiki in front of it, it may have created some sort of contradictions, okay? Anyway, his spirit went away, and I came back from trance state, and the students were around me waiting for me because they were quite surprised to see me in this state. They were a bit worried because when I used to go into trance, and when I go into trance, I go really deep. And they were waiting for me with a glass of water, and they wanted to know what happened. And I shared to them what happened openly. And they were all so happy, and they insisted so much. And in the end, I just gave up and decided to put the name Reiki, okay? But yes, let's go a step forward. I don't see this method only as a healing method, but it is a reawakening method, okay? Why? Because in the times that we are living in, we should start to step out of the concept of healing and start to understand the concept of reawakening. But what is reawakening all about? It's a question of remembering who we are. The reawakening of the memory of the soul, the divine memory that encases the wisdom of the universe and the multiverse, the wisdom of all of creation, right? So what does this mean? If we are souls, and if we are originally so pure because we come from there, that central point called divine singularity that then expands, creating and generating all sorts of multi-dimensions, where then the concept, the fractalic concept of creation comes out as this cube of Metatron, okay? Which, and we have to remember that the cube of Metatron is a very simple way of seeing things, because there is much more to it than the eye can capture, because we are talking about the form, the shape within the shape, within the shape, within the shape, within the shape of all shapes and forms, okay? So yes, we are really talking about the infinite within the infinite, encased in infinite spaces. Well, yes, if we are so divinely perfect, what has happened to us throughout history to forget about this reality here, right there in the center of all of creation, okay? In the center of each one of us, in the center of the hearts of our cells, in the hearts of our DNA, in the hearts of our atoms. Of course, humanity has been historically diverted through a diverting culture, okay? A distortive culture based upon fear, right? Because fear has always been the biggest lie of all of humanity. Fear has been, let's say, the foundation of of the political culture and the religious culture that has in time created, let's say, the unwanted effect to push us away in reality from our real spiritual self, the awakened self, okay, free from fear, the knowing that, okay, even if I'm living in a world that visibly doesn't look perfect, because this is what they are putting inside my subconscious mind, conditioning my mind to see this holographical projection, because yes, according to this concept, we are living in a simulation. Well, now I am convinced that this is my reality, and I call it reality. But if it's all a holographical structured simulation created through history, created through a deviant culture, political, religious, guided by other secret powers that many of us don't know, well, it is time to remember who we are. Total divine perfection. So when we're talking about reawakening, do we really need healing? So if we believe that we need healing, we don't believe in our perfection. And if we don't believe in our perfection, we are blocking ourselves from our reawakening process of really gaining a true liberating healing. This freedom from the matrix, okay, to bring us back to our perfect template, according to the concept of this divine technology that comes through Transcendental Quantum Reiki. Of course, to reach this awareness, we are going to work on our, let's say, on our quantum field. Many call it the aura. It can even be defined as the torus field, okay? The torus field, of course, determines the nature of creation on electromagnetical level. But what generates the torus field by itself, and what keeps it as a perfect, harmonious, organized quantum system is, of course, let's say, the Metatron cube, okay? Because behind the energy field, behind, let's say, the quantum field, there is, let's say, the etherical foundation of creation that we can partially understand through sacred geometry, that determines the perfection and the harmonious flow of the electromagnetical energy of the universe. Now, this is how we are structured energetically. As you can see, I've prepared this Vitruvian man, and in the very center, we have our higher heart chakra, the Merkaba of life, which is going to be activated through Transcendental Quantum Reiki to make us transcend and convey the divine supreme energy, this divine singularity, into our human level of existence for ourselves and for other people, to uplift the vibrational frequencies of other people and reawaken other people, because a transcendental quantum Reiki practitioner is an awakener. So we are going beyond the concept of healing. We are reawakening people, okay? But how? Firstly, we are going to connect ourselves energetically, directly with the energy of the Archangel Metatron. The energy of the Archangel Metatron is known to be the fire of life, okay? If anyone knows the ascended master called the Count of Saint Germain, he was a very famous and very mysterious alchemist that lived in the medieval ages of Europe. And there was a legend of him being an immortal, but in reality, in the medieval ages, so many legends come out according to phenomena that people cannot explain. But in reality, he had a very, very long and healthy life. He saw maybe 3 generations passing in front of him, because in the medieval ages, people used to die even at the age of 40. But when we're talking about this ascended master, he had a very, very long and healthy life. Why? Because he knew the secret of the Merkaba of life, the cube of Metatron, because Metatron was passing him the knowledge of his energy, and he knew how to activate his auric field to this frequency. And this is even also known as the frequency of compassion. The frequency of compassion that permits you to be neutral. And this is the key to non-attachment, okay? So you are living in the world, but you are compassion, and being compassion, you permit yourself to be neutral and to observe things from according to your point of view, according to your perspective, on an objective level. So you're stepping out of the role of the victim of society on subjective level, and you are seeing things on objective level, experiencing things on objective level. You are totally neutral, and you are totally in the energy of compassion, because this is very important for any practitioner, not to absorb the energy of the external, but to understand it, to transform it, and to bring it back to its authentic state of light. And this is what this level of activation does. And from level 1, you will all experience this level of activation through the ultraviolet fire of life, the ultraviolet frequency of Metatron, which will be activated from your higher heart chakra, from your personal Metatron cube, and you will feel the vibrational level rising, your cells reacting in a certain way. People feel even electrostatical energy all around them and within them. The body becomes lighter. And this is even a first step to make us understand in a partial way what we can be in the future, okay? So this is a first activating step, okay? But then once we go through this activation process, we are ready, let's say, in the end, to transcend this energy and to manifest it within our hands. Because as we live in the universe, because we are the infinite encased in infinite spaces, the universe with its etherical multidimensional structure, determined by the supreme divine energy, which is the divine singularity in the very center, lives within us, lives within our hearts, in our cells, in every single aspect of ourselves. And we can replicate this condition within our hands. The energy comes, it flows, and it manifests within our hands. And we have this beautiful geometrical structure called the Merkaba of life, with the divine singularity, that pure energy of love and peace within our hands, ready to be used for ourselves and for our dear ones, for anyone who needs this energy, and to be sent out for, let's say, distant healing processes and reawakening processes. Healing and reawakening. Healing, letting go of the past, reawakening, remembering who you are. Okay? And yes. Does anyone have any questions until now? Have I been quite clear for what I've been explaining? Everything easy? Okay. If there is no sharing, that's fine. Okay. Most important, I would like to know if everyone has heard what I've said and if everything is okay and cool and easy. if you've all understood what I'm saying.
Yes, it was quite clear. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Very happy. Now, all I have to say is that I'm going to be doing free classes at Illuminations JLT very soon. I'm going to start the level 1, and I'm going to be doing the level 2 and the level 3, okay, at Illuminations JLT. I'll be here from the 27th I'll be in Dubai from the 27th of January until the 24th of February, where beyond my workshops, I will be even conducting meditations, other spiritual activities, and even my one-on-one sessions, okay? So you can even try Transcendental Quantum Reiki even through my one-on-one sessions as well, okay? But before ending, I just want to say what makes this method so special, of course. Well, it is the combination of 3 approaches, okay? It is the combination of hypnosis, quantum physics, and shamanism. Why hypnosis? Because the student will learn through hypnosis how to calm down the brain waves of the receiver, because it is very important for the receiver to be totally relaxed to receive this energy, free from all sorts of resistances that can be created by the ego. And then, of course, there's the quantum physical part, which in part I have described, okay, where the student learns how to polarize and convey, let's say, this beautiful divine singularity energy, the supreme energy that will be sent to the person in the form of, let's say, a Merkaba of life, spreading out this energy and going wherever it is, and going wherever it has to go, where the practitioner in this phase has his or her channels opened and can go psychic and see even the causes of the certain blocks that are occurring, okay? And this is very interesting as well. And then the shaman part. And the shaman part is for, what can I say, the initiations, okay? Because from the very first level, throughout the 3rd level, you will be all going through very powerful shaman initiations, okay? Through sacred geometry and through my shaman music, of course, okay? And this is what it's all about. If you want to have any info on the dates, you can clearly call Illuminations, okay, or write to Illuminations, JLT Wellness Center, and they will tell you all the dates and the prices. Of course, talking about prices, there will be a very special discount for all the free, let's say, all the free levels. But you can even choose to do all level, or that you can even choose to do even just level 1 if you want to, and wait for level 2 and level 3 the next time. But since I don't come to Dubai very oftenly, that's why I've decided to teach level 1, level 2, and level 3, okay? Level 1 will be starting the 5th, will be the weekend, the 5th and the 6th of February. And then level 2 and level 3, I don't know, you have to call Illuminations for this, okay? And they will tell you all the possible details, all what is necessary to know for, what can I say, to sign in and to undergo this course. Now, I want to be very clear on something. You don't have to be an advanced energy healing practitioner to do Transcendental Quantum Reiki, okay? Because it is even a totally new approach in quantum medicine or energy medicine. From level 1, you'll be guided step by step, and I will take each one of you step by step by the hand, and you will be guided in a very, very easy and, let's say, safe way to become level 1 practitioners, okay? That then will prepare you for level 2 and level 3. So you don't need to have, what can I say, a huge experience in energy healing to come into this course, because it is totally new. It is practically a new gift arriving from the multiverse. It is like a newly born child that I'm offering to humanity, okay? And it all depends on us if we want to be fathers and mother of this newly born child and grow it up, okay? So this is what I wanted to share. And now it's time to go into the meditative part of the evening. So are you all ready for this? Are you all ready for the meditative part? Yes? Okay, very good. Now, as I said, I'm not going to play my instruments live tonight because the sound won't be very good, okay? Because I usually play this instrument here, which is a very powerful Aboriginal instrument, a ritual instrument of the Aborigines of Australia, the shamans of Australia. And it is it is a very powerful cleansing instrument. It works really deeply on soul level, on unconscious level, and on physical level. And of course, I've got my drum and my jingles. I've got my throat chanting, okay? And yes, I do even Scandinavian throat chanting together with my music. And during my meditations, you will listen to it live, okay? And throat chanting is something like this. Wait a minute. Yes, it didn't come out very well because I have to eat my throat a bit, okay? And yes, this is part of my sound healing and my shaman experience. But anyway, I've got recorded music here, very special for this meditation. And what are we going to do? I'm going to guide you into a deep state of relaxation where we'll go back to your authentic spiritual self of divine singularity. It will be a journey within, where you'll feel your consciousness becoming smaller and smaller. You are shrinking towards your heart. You are in the very center of your heart. Then you see your blood cells. You are shrinking towards your blood cells, towards the nucleus, and then you go into your DNA. You shrink into your DNA. You go into your atoms. You shrink into the hearts of the atoms, and then you're in the heart of the universe itself. Okay? And this is spiritual rebirth from the very heart of the universe with its fatherly and motherly energy, the Merkaba of life itself, the Metatron cube, the divine singularity. And then, as a spark of light, you are leaving that very center of all of creation, and you go back on earth, and you see how, and you're going back on earth, and you are living a process of being reborn, okay? When you go back on earth, you're living the times when your mother gave you birth, but it's being reborn into your new self. And after this meditation, okay, I'm going to start to play my shaman music, okay, where you will dance your new self, okay? So are you ready? Yes? Very good now. Let me share the sound. Okay. Now, all you have to do is follow my initial guidance. Or you will close your eyes only when I tell you to do so. So now keep your eyes open. And while doing so, imagine to see your favorite landscape, a beautiful horizon between the sky and the ground. Remember the times when you used to daydream when you were a little child? Daydreaming is a way to connect. Daydreaming is called lucid dreaming, where your imagination flies and connects you to so many different worlds. And now, relax every single muscle of your body. Relax the muscles of your legs, your arms, of your shoulders. Relax your facial muscles. And now, before closing your eyes, I'm going to count until 5. Because 5 is the number of spiritual connection and transcendence. Each time that I count, you'll profoundly breathe in and breathe out, and only when you hear me say 5, you will take one last deep breath, breathing in and breathing out, and you close your eyes and relax. So 1, breathing deeply, and breathe out. 2, breathing deeply, and breathe out. 3, breathe and breathe out. 4, breathing deeply and breathe out. 5, take one last deep breath, breathing deeply. Breathe out and close your eyes and relax. Relax. Just relax and let yourself go in total trust. Listening to my voice and trusting my guidance, where my voice is like the voice of a spiritual guide coming from the breeze of the stars, the cosmic breeze of the change, which you can feel around you in your room, caressing your heart, giving you a sensation of peace and stillness in your heart, which is gently rising like a beautiful vortex into your mind, calm your mind. Your mind is structured like an oak tree with so many branches called the neurons. And as an oak tree, it has been accumulating lots of dust throughout these years, throughout your life. And this gentle breeze coming from your heart that comes from the universe of peace and tranquility is blowing throughout these branches, blowing away the dust of fear, anxiety, stress, and all sorts of negative thought patterns and energies that have been accumulated in these days, weeks, and months, and that are going away through the breeze of this wind into the night sky full of stars, where the universe always takes back what isn't needed anymore to transform it back to light. All goes back to unconditional love and you are feeling more and more relaxed. And you are going deeper and deeper into yourself. And the deeper you go, the more you feel relaxed. Now start to feel your heart within yourself beating. The beautiful heart of peace and tranquility. And start to feel yourself attracted to the center of your heart. Feel your heart like a powerful magnet, where you're having the sensation of shrinking towards your heart, becoming smaller and smaller, shrinking towards your. This is your consciousness converging itself to the very center of your heart, from the human scale of existence to the microcosmical scale of existence. And you are shrinking towards your heart, becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. Having the sensation of your body enlarging itself all around while you are shrinking towards your heart, becoming smaller and smaller, shrinking towards its center, where now you are within the chambers of your heart, and you can see the wall of your heart, the walls of your heart, enlarging and shrinking, and enlarging and contracting. Your heart is beating all around you. And you can see all the blood flow and the blood cells being addressed in their correspective directions through the arteries. Now you are in the very center of your heart, like a beautiful spark of bright white light, a spark of the consciousness. And now observe a blood cell in front of you, roaming around in your heart, and follow it. And start to see where it goes. You can even have a tour of your body. Follow the bloodstream. Follow that blood, which is taking you wherever it's taking you, showing you whatever you have to see within your body. And now approach that blood cell, becoming smaller and smaller. Enter the blood cell as a spark of bright white light, and be this blood cell now, going all around your body, from the heart visiting the lung, all the other organs, going through the arteries, visiting every single part of your body. You are going through the arteries in a very fast way. And now it's time to shrink further towards the nucleus of the cell. And a spark of bright white light, shrinking towards the nucleus of the cell, where you can start to see filaments of proteins. And you are shrinking towards the proteins, becoming smaller and smaller as the infinite within the infinite. Universes within universe. And beyond the proteins, you can see the strands of DNA, so many, an infinite ocean of strands of DNA, And now you are shrinking and you are going towards a section of the DNA, which is becoming bigger and bigger, wider and wider, bigger and bigger, wider and wider, until you can see the genes of the DNA. And now you are going towards a gene, which is a tiny sphere amongst many other genes, means and trins of other spheres. And that sphere is becoming bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, wider and wider. And you can see that it's made of countless molecules, countless tiny spheres called molecules. And you're going towards one molecule now. And it's becoming bigger and bigger, as big as a planet, huge, gigantic. And you're going beyond the biological membrane of the molecule, which is the last part of your biological structure. Because beyond the molecule, there is the quantum, an infinite ocean of flashing lights all around, leaving traces of rainbow colors, spectrums of rainbow light, traveling around at an incredible speed, the speed of light, atoms all around with their orbitals. And now follow an atom, follow its rainbow trace, and you're becoming smaller and smaller. And you are going beyond the orbitals and you're going right into the heart of the atom to discover that bright white light, which is you again. The bright white light of pure consciousness, divine consciousness, called divine singularity. Encased in the Metatron cube, the Merkaba of life, or you can even see it as a beautiful crystal made of a four-sided pyramid pointing upwards, incastenated in a crystal four-sided pyramid pointing downwards. And you are entering the very heart of creation within you. You are going back to your origins, entering the bright white light in its very center, as you are this bright white light, the infinite going back to the infinite. Until now, you are in the very center of the Metatron cube, and all around the entire universe. Millions and trillions of star systems and galaxies and nebulae. So many worlds to explore. And you are this divine luminous center. You are back home, from where you came from. And now just stay for an instant in silence, in this elevated state of being, of the eternal, here and now. And sense yourself as the whole entire infinite breathing, the whole universe with all its dimensions breathing, the breath of life. And now you are a fragment of this infinite, detaching itself from the infinite itself as a spark of bright white light in the very center of your personal Merkaba, of this Metatron cube. It is your vehicle of light. This is how light beings travel. And you are leaving the heart of the universe, traveling throughout the universe through all its dimensions, through all the star systems, towards a spiral-shaped galaxy called the Milky Way. You are approaching the Milky Way, traveling through the star fields until you see the solar system. and you see Mother Earth. It is the date of your birth, that this is spiritual rebirth into your new self. And you are coming down to Earth now, traveling through the atmosphere. And you are hovering above the place where you were born. From above, you can see your mother about to give you birth. And as this spark of light encased in this magical crystal or Metatron cube or Merkaba, which is your divine etherical vehicle, you're coming down towards your mother and entering her womb. You are the size of an atom. And now you see yourself as a tiny baby in the womb of your mother, about to be born. You can see your heart beating and go right into the center of your heart now. A new beating heart. And from there, start to expand your consciousness from the very center of your new beating heart throughout your new body, the body of a baby. So perfect, so beautiful, divinely perfect. Where now you know where you came from, and you know that you have been born, spiritually born, from the heavenly realm itself, from the very heart of all of creation. And the whole entire creation loves you as your father and your mother. And now you can feel the contractions around you. You are going through the uterus of your mother, and you are born to the light. Your mother looks at you and she smiles. But within her eyes, you can see the entire universe that you saw. And beyond that universe, the light from where you came from and who you truly are. And suddenly, time starts to accelerate all around you. And you are growing, you are growing, you are growing at an accelerated rate. But at the same time, you're observing all the experiences that you had since your childhood, but in a very neutral way. You are just an observer. And from your very heart, you're shining out your authentic light towards all those episodes. And what isn't needed just dissolves away in the light as time accelerates, while you are growing into your peaceful and awakened version of yourself, until you reach this actual time. And suddenly, you find yourself in your favorite place in nature. And it is time to celebrate the spiritual rebirth. You have very special music, a music channeled from the heavens, a music that will make you dance this spiritual rebirth. A music entitled The Music of the Holy Grail, which means the journey to discover yourself, to find yourself, because this is the Holy Grail. Knowing that you are the infinite within the infinite, dancing the dance of life, of joy, the dance to master your destiny. Now, time has come back to awaken yourself in the new here and now, with this music in your heart, with the vision of this meditative experience that will accompany you to remember who you are. I'm going to count until 5. Each time that I count, you take deep breaths. And at my 5, you'll take one last deep breath with a nice and open your eyes with a beautiful, beautiful smile on your face. So 1, inhale profoundly and exhale. Move the fingers of your hands and the toes of your feet. It helps you to ground yourself. 2, inhale profoundly and exhale. You're coming back into new here and now. And 3, inhale profoundly and exhale. Stretch every single muscle of your body, your arms, your legs. 4, inhale profoundly and exhale. You're back into a new here and now. And 5, inhale profoundly and exhale with a nice and open your eyes with a beautiful, beautiful smile on your face. And welcome into a new here and now. And let's remain for an instant in silence to honor this moment, to show gratitude for this moment. And here we are. It is the end of this evening. I'm very grateful for your participation. Each one of you is a blessing. And remember, I will be doing the 3 levels of Transcendental Quantum Reiki. I will be in Dubai from the 27th of January until the 24th of February for my one-on-one sessions and other spiritual activities. And for info and for bookings, feel welcome to contact Illuminations, JLT. And I will be very, very happy to see you all turning up to my events. And thank you and namaste.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ahmad.
Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye, everyone. And what can I say? Buon appetito. Okay, because it's dinner time, right? And I guess that dinner time, yeah? Is it lunch or dinner? I always confuse from lunch from dinner. Anyway, in Italian, it's cena, l'ora della cena, no? And I believe that you're all hungry at this time after this experience. So enjoy your food, okay? Ground yourselves with good food tonight, okay?
Thank you.
Altrettanto.
Grazie, grazie.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.